Good God Almighty. Sorry, I'm not making this up. There's probably 20. Get a nap. By then, those hogs at that bait site, they'll be gone. They'll be doing something else, and then we can go in there and do our job. Hey, bub. Let me get a flashlight for you. So you can see there. Oh, there you go. Okay, here we are. 2:45. Got 2 hours sleep. We're not going to really work with the smart, stupid watch today. We're going to leave it alone. Our solo boar came in down there in Central Florida, so we flipped the switch on the chief trap. Very skittish hog. I mean, very skittish from the get-go. You could tell he's been around the block. He put on quite a show when the trap came down. Again, that's the largest drop trap in the world. So the Marines have a saying. I'm assuming that everybody else has probably got that same saying, or the Marines borrow it from somebody, but sleep when you can. So 2 hours sleep ain't much, but it is what it is. So Zeb told me to get him up if I dropped, and he would make the run with me. I'm not getting him up. He's still working on his drainage problem, irrigation drainage problem here at the house, at the shop. And then he's got some work he wants to do over at our farm today, later this afternoon. And then he's got to pick up our diesel mechanic's dog. We're going to babysit her for a week. When you have 5 diesel trucks and your diesel mechanic asks you for a favor, you jump. I mean, you jump hard. So some of you in TV land may be going, well, man, what's the push? Why can't we wait on this, gate drop single bore? Well, we've got 19 that we've identified on a bait site. We're running a trap on the south side of that property, 700 acres, and on the north side. We should be going down there to the property Monday evening and work for a couple days. And I mean, we're always like weeks and weeks ahead, planning ahead, especially on this tract of land in Central Florida. So we need to take him out, get that trap over there on that west property line, and maybe it might be ready to roll, drop, Monday or Tuesday, or potentially, early Wednesday morning. So it's just kind of playing chess is what we're doing. Wyatt's got a baseball tournament in Alabama, so he's taking off at some point today, and then I'm just going to make a quick run down there, take this solo out, move the trap by myself, and then work, and come back, and then sometime tomorrow, the bride and I will head to Alabama to watch Wyatt play. So we're not going to catch his first game, but it would be hard for her to get off work, the bride. So anyway, it is what it is. So I'm probably not doing the best on video. I'm kind of tired. I haven't woken up yet. We're going to load the cooler down with a bunch of yogurts, hopefully some keto drinks that aren't as thick as molasses or thick as you know what. And I'm going to have me some, I already got one in my little cup there, chai or chi, I don't know how you say it, but I usually have one of those every morning. I was working on a project yesterday. I didn't get in a fight with a cat, but when I went to bed last night, I got 5 different wounds on my hands. I knocked the bark off with 5 different spots on my hands yesterday. I guess that's why people wear gloves. And some of them wounds weren't looking the best from not having them covered up yesterday. So I've got these Tough Strip Band-Aid, that's probably an advertisement, on there with a little antibiotic cream, just to try to keep them covered with, the nastiness what we're fixing to get into. So we're going to load up the Tacoma. Don't need to take any corn, don't need to take any trailers, taking a few weapons with us. And we just need to get down there before daylight. So it's a 2.5 hour drive. We'll be able to drive straight out, park, jump out of the truck, and then hump it, 800 yards or 1,000 yards up there. Now, if we do engage hogs on that travel to the trap, we will not shoot, meaning like a group of hogs. If I can identify that it's a solo boar and it's up there by the trap just being a solo boar, yeah, I'll take him out. But if it's the group that we're looking at, the 19, will not engage. We do not need them to have pressure on them. And that's a lot of self-control for people, hard for people to understand that. But if I shoot at them right now, this little sanctuary they got going on, it ain't gonna be a sanctuary. So self-control there. You gotta look at the big picture, take out the group. But I'll carry a thermal anyway. And believe it or not, you know, at night with a thermal, you can identify a boar versus a sow. I mean, believe it or not, you just can. And I guess use your imagination that you can see certain body parts and you can't. But pulled the batteries off the charger when I got down here to the shop from yesterday's run. They're over here cooling behind me. And remember, they cool, then you hit them with the voltmeter, check that voltage. So with that being said, the baby's not going to go because Zebby will be here today. She's not happy, but she's raring to go. She knows exactly what's coming down the pipe, but there's no point. It wouldn't be a fun day for her. God bless her little heart. But so anyway, y'all hang on today. It's going to be a ride, I can promise you. Be a little bit more active than yesterday. And then after I get this hog killed, I'm probably going to take me a little Marine Corps power nap and then move this trap and then come back to South Georgia. So ride with me. We've got a beautiful full moon. I mean a beautiful full moon out there. Many years ago, I wrote a piece called My Full Moon, I think. It ended up in one of the books now that we're completely diving in behind the curtain. And it's about the full moon. So the full moon is very special to me, but for many years it wasn't. But I got her back. She's right here with me. So it ain't hard to get pretty motivated when she's up there. And we get out there in that prairie, we might see Laura Ingalls, and we're gonna rock up through there and have that full moon guide us. You know, hell, it's so bright out there, you don't need a thermal. But here we go. Man, you talk about a full moon. That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna spin this camera around. I'll tell you a little story about the full moon. 4 a.m. we're rolling. Alright, so it's about 4 a.m. making our way down to Central Florida. I used to run these roads before I retired. They're pretty boring, to be honest. Wouldn't hurt for there to be a hill or a curve in them. But you got to keep your eyes peeled for deer. And then, believe it or not, there's a significant population of wild hogs the direction we're headed. So occasionally you'll see a hog on the side of the road this time in the morning. But doing fine. But I was going to tell you a little bit about that moon. I mean, hell, we ain't got nothing better to do than to look at this flat road. But when I was growing up, we used to raccoon hunt, coon dogs with a guy across the gravel road from where I grew up. Him and my dad worked together. He just recently died. And honestly, I don't know if we ever did even trap or, kill a coon. I don't remember if we did or not. But we'd go with our daddies. Guy across the road, his son was my best friend. Just out there with our dads in the dark, and had flashlights, and there was a light we'd put on our head, and you'd mix these rocks and water together. It's called carbide. Above my chemistry education, which is very limited. But somehow it's a reaction because of light. Anyway, you can Google it. That's old school. And but on the nights that it was a full moon like tonight, man, you hardly needed the light, and you'd have the sound of the dogs baying. It's just magical. I mean, it's just neat to watch any dog work. I'm not overly fond of hog dogs just because it messes up trapping so bad, but bird dogs, cattle dogs, police dogs, But then when I started my career, I said in another video, I went into it sideways, crooked, flipping upside down, and I don't regret it. I'd do it again. I'd stand in line right now and do it again. I wish I could remember more about it. That's the part I regret. I just don't remember much. And I'm not sure if that's by fault, or by design, or a little of both. But somewhere in the middle of that, very early on in that career, the moon changed. I worked so much at night, and I was, spent the first 6 years of my career around people, and my job was to pretend to be something I wasn't. So I guess, now that y'all get to peek behind the curtain, it's kind of nice at this stage in my life just to let it all hang out. So the moon changed. It really did. It wasn't a good thing. I couldn't see the carbide light. I couldn't hear the dogs anymore. It was gone. It was freaking faded and gone, and it was just really sad. And life and mankind, sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's just the way it is. Dad always said life wasn't fair. It strips things from us that are precious to us, that we treasure. But I never gave up hope. So one night, many years before we started the business, me and a fellow named JP, we were doing some thermal work, not trapping work. We were doing thermal work on a property that he works on, 24,000 acres. And we were out there sitting in his pickup truck at night. And I looked up at the moon, and I don't know. It's like 18 years later, it all came back. I could hear the dogs. I could smell the earth. Carbide lights had a smell they kicked out, and that's all part of how the brain works, the five senses. And I doubt seriously any of you want an education on how the brain processes junk, but it makes sense. And the moon came back. So I wrote a piece on it. It's in one of the books. I don't know which book. I think it's called My Full Moon. And I tell you that story because life will strip things from you. Mankind, and sometimes it is by intentions of those that are just driven a wrong way, will strip things from you. But you got to hold on. Got to hold on to that thread. That's all it is, a thread. You hold on to that thread, then it'll come back. And sometimes you got to fight for it. And now I look up at the moon, dog-ass tired like right now, 6 hairy ninja monkeys, beat the living hell out of me. But I can hear the coons, I can smell the earth. Man, I can see my dad, I can see my buddy, I can see his daddy. I can right now I can see the rock formation and the draws and the little valleys we'd go down through. Right there. You know what I mean? And all that garbage that somehow filtered in because it's supposed to, because that's life. I grew from that. So for you and you that are fascinated by trauma and want to understand it, that would be called post-traumatic growth. Big technical term. Post-traumatic growth means you just grew from a bunch of crap. That's it. You didn't let the crap suck you down in a hole, you grew from it. I'm probably a poster child for post-traumatic growth, which I didn't plan on being that, but it is what it is. So, my full moon. Has that got anything to do with hog trapping? Hell, I don't know. But if you're still on us, you're still watching the channel, then I guess it does, or you getting something else out of this. Or maybe I'm showing you how to hold on to that little tiny thread. Hell, I got a sweat rag right here, right? I got a sweat rag you live in South Georgia, you got to carry a sweat rag. And I got a sweat rag up there in the dash holding this camera to keep it from sliding around. It's kind of hard to see. Here, let me get a flashlight. There it is. Sometimes that's all you need, right? Is a thread. And you hanging on by a thread. Well, I hope this video, by the time it's done today, we're going to give you a thread. So hang on as we head deeper into Central Florida. In the Marine Corps, that'd be called an Irish pennant. Just so you know, a little fun fact for you there. But we heading deeper into Central Florida, and we're gonna keep our eyes peeled for deer, any hogs on the side of the road, and hang on. If we get lucky, good Lord will throw me some Bob Seger on this radio if I ever figure out how to sync it to your phone and go on to Amazon Music, and hell, I can't figure none of that crap out. But anyway, all right, we'll get back to you. I'm not making this up. There's probably 20 hogs. Let me see if I can film them. That's that group of 19. See them? Don't even care. Look at that. Look at that. That is just absolutely insane. So let me flip this camera back around. So you in TV land there probably going, well, why didn't he jump out with his rifle and shoot them? Man, what are you going to do? Shoot one of them and spook them? The car ain't really, or the truck ain't really going to scare him. You start shooting, somebody starts shooting at you, it's going to get your attention. You're going to get the hell out of there and stay out of there for a little bit. That's not what we want. Our bait site's that way, our trap is that way. There you go. The truck scared them. Didn't seem to scare them too bad, did it? They're right off there in the woods. That works perfect for us, because the goal of today is take out this solo, move the chief trap to the bait site where they've been going. That's our group there of 19, I can promise you. By what I saw, those couple of big ones and them little bitty booger eaters. You know, that's proactive hog control. That's trapping intelligently. Would I like to get out and engage those? Yeah, what am I going to do? Shoot one or two of them? You know, no, I want to trap all of them and eliminate. So for you in TV land, that might be hard to understand. Trapping hogs is a lot of self-control. It's a lot of, not flipping that switch when you first see hogs. I mean, say you spend $5,000 on a trap, that's the average price of a Jagger Pro. You know, you want to see it work, but 6 months later, you just bought $5,000 piece of steel because you've educated every hog on your property. So you got to think about these things and take your time and be patient. But was that pretty cool? That was pretty cool. I mean, not for the sense of a hog trapper, like, wow, we trapped this property 700 acres, we're running 3 systems on it. That's a breach. This is why we're doing what we're doing today, so it kind of supports the mission, and so anyway, I need to shut my mouth. I got a little, I bet my smart stupid watch is showing the heart rate flux right there. But I got cameras popping, going off. We fixing to head that way now. I mean, the lights are on. I mean, I can feel it. So we'll get back to you. See if I can get you a little light. we definitely run out of dark here. Double timed it up the prairie here, just because it was getting daylight on us. Nothing but deer on the thermal. I can see now the cameras are just a little bit to the daylight. So we're right on top of the trap. We're going to ease down here. I'm confident that he's not going to be a happy customer. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but you can kind of tell when you drop a gate the way a hog reacts to it, and then his skittishness, getting comfortable with the trap. So I'm gonna go ahead and spin the camera around, let y'all take a little peek. Nice day here in Central Florida. So here we go. Hey fella. So we really don't have the darkness working for us. So the best thing to do is just kind of ease in. He's already popping his teeth together, his cutters. Now, I'm not scared of him. I'm just trying to take it easy on him to ease on in. Very normal, shoving that head down in that dirt. He's pissed. Yeah, he's got some cutters on him. I could see him on the live video. Florida cutters. Hey, bub. Let me get a flashlight for you. See, you can see them in the video, live video. When you're looking at them, you can just see that little marks on the outside of their face. And again, if you drove up here and made a big ruckus, it'd be on like Donkey Kong. I mean, he knows that we're definitely not his buddy, but there's no reason making this any worse than it's got to be. Yeah, he's got a mouthful of cutters on him. So we are officially at the Chief Trap. We call it the Chief Trap. It's made by Southern Hog Control, but it runs YakoPro components. But it's actually called the Closure, but we call it the Chief Trap. One day we will explain that why. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him down, get this on the show, get this show on the road. Just give you a little bit of show there of their mannerisms, what he's doing. He's just pissed. I don't blame him. But the whole reason we brought this Chief Trap in here, we're running 2 YakoPros on the north and south end, is we've had an abundance of solo boars that have just come into this little prairie here and tore the crap out of everything. And you know, they're slick. They get it. They know what's going on. 700 acres, so this trap is kind of smack dab in the middle now. And anyway, so let's put him down and let's try to enjoy this day. And had a little excitement, you know, there from the get-go with running into that big group of hogs. But all right, we'll get right back to you. Okay, done deal. You shoot enough hogs, you kind of know where to put that bullet. And I'm telling you, if you do this stuff in the dark, They go down so much faster, so much quicker, so much easier on them. It's easier on everything. Yeah, you might have to go without some sleep, but no. I mean, one shot's all it took. He's down. So anyway, we're gonna give you some footage of him. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of him, and then probably head to camp and take a shower. And I haven't sweated like Wyatt in church yet, but anyway, take a shower and try to lay down for a couple hours before we move the system. I'd love to go ahead and move the system now. Perfect weather, 70 degrees, because here in a little bit it'll be 100. But you know, I've learned with age to take them little naps when you can. So let me flip this thing around so y'all can take a look at him. So you see we got the Jagger Pro app up and running, always running. But yeah, he's got some decent cutters on him. Zoom in there. But anyway. Oh hey, you know, maybe for you that are just watching this for hogs, but man, the ducks just flew in, so let's ease over there and see if we can't get some duck footage. You can see how they've been rooting this all up. You know, we just took out 2 boars and a young sow, what, about a week ago. There's my ducks, but they just keep rooting it up. That's fresh right there now. Anyway, all right, try not to spook them. I got some pretty good footage the other day. Of ducks, you know, flying in. It was pretty cool. Sun was coming up. But this right here, you know, is part of what we're trying to protect. And for some people, you know, they don't get it, but it's not a crop, but it is an ecosystem. And the hogs are not helping that ecosystem at all. So, but beautiful. I'm not supposed to say beautiful. Y'all might wonder why, because this is where I got bit by the tick and contracted alpha-gal syndrome, which makes it where you can't eat any red meat. So I never was a big red meat eater, but I did enjoy some deer and hog. So anyway, but I always say it's a nice day in Central Florida. But I think I was saying before I got rudely interrupted by that group of hogs that with Lower Ingalls, you hear me talk about Lower Ingalls, where every time I hear the word prairie, I think a Little House on the Prairie, and I did have a slight fascination with Lower Ingalls back in the day when I was a much younger man. So that's called an associative memory. Those of you that want to run down the psychology highway, disassociative memory would be something that reminds you of something that's just not very pleasant. So anyway, so ticks generally aren't on my associative, they're more on my disassociative, but there's always a process of working through that. So if you're new to the video or to the channel, that's the Chief Trap 23. It's 23 foot wide, largest drop trap in the world. Running a live Jagger Pro live video system with a directional antenna. It is customized by our youngest boy, Wyatt. He customized that hanger for an on-time feeder so we can keep pushing out corn on it. And pretty much everything else is just standard trap, Jagger Pro components right there. Jagger Pro control box and latch. But pretty neat trap. Done well so far for us here on this property. There's some ducks. There they go. But anyway, alright, well, we're gonna try to wrap it up, and we'll give you some more footage throughout the day. Just kind of figure out what we're doing. Right now we gotta hump it back to the truck and figure out exactly how we're gonna do all this. But good day, good day, good day. Just need to get a little bit of rest and then we can get to it. So we're walking back here to the truck. Here's a young deer. Hey buddy. I saw a fawn earlier, but I wasn't quick enough with the camera. Still in the spots. There is no shortage of deer on this property. Stomping that foot. Hey buddy. Just took out a hog for you. Yeah. Probably cutting in on your corn pile somewhere. Hey. Hey buddy. He's fixing to blow it out. Deer don't like hogs. I'm telling you. Let's see what he does. Oh, there we go. Hey, cute little guy. So that blowing sound, for you in TV land that don't know, that's just like a warning thing they do. One of their verbal communications. So we're back here at the truck. It's about 6:45. So we've been rolling since 2 a.m. All good. So I think what we're going to do now, and Zeb and I were talking about this the other day. For you that don't, you just started watching the channel or the video or whatever the hell you call it. You know, like, what is he talking about? We? There's only one person here. So I'm going to cover that. I don't want to be redundant. I just think everything involves, it's a we. It's a teamwork system. You know, whoever built this truck, whoever designed that phone, and it's just we. And you got a lot of people that help you do what you do, but they may not be here. Some of them living, some of them dead. So you hear me say we, I'm not crazy. I don't have any friends in my pocket. But it's we. So I think what we're going to do is, you know, our bait side is right over in that direction. These hogs probably didn't go far. So we really don't need to be over there jacking around. We need to let it get hot. I mean, it is what it is. If you follow us, we do a lot of our work during the hottest time of the day because these hogs are going to be laid up somewhere keeping cool. We've already blowed it up over here where the trap is at. So we're going to go back to camp. Do a few things, grab a four-wheeler, we have a mini hog on this property. We sold it to the customer. And take the mini hog up there, even though I'm tired, we're gonna go up there and bust that trap down and get it loaded and then come back to camp. We'll be out of direct sunlight. We'll be done there. For the most part, we're gonna have to move the bait site back over there. We're just swapping, that's all we're doing. But bait site's not a big deal to throw one of them up in 10 minutes. And we'll pull that trap, then head back to camp, take a shower, take a little nap, and that would be the smart thing to do. I wouldn't mind taking a nap right now, but probably need to go ahead and pull that trap. That would be the first course of action. So like Zebby and I were talking about, we don't know what, you know, when did you start watching, you know, when did you pick up? So the other day we did a video, and you know, I was telling you that I don't like flip-flops, and if I was king for a day, they'd be abolished. That might rub some people wrong. I just don't see a purpose in them. I do buy into these little shoes for the sole purpose, not to make a joke out of sole, but the sole purpose of being able to slip these on in and out between traps. It works a little bit quicker than my hiking boots that I always generally wear. And then I was putting them on the other day after I got done taking out 5 hogs, and made me think, like, you know, that dude I watched when I was growing up. And so anyway, my version is it's a wonderful day in the hog trapping world. So, you know, with that being said, I'm gonna put on my little slip-on shoes. Main reason, you know, wear the rubber boots is just to keep that nastiness out of the inside of the truck. And if you wear these, just that way you're not, there's a lot of crap in that trap. I mean, literally crap and just other junk. And one other thing real quick. Some of you have been exposed to the violent nature of hogs and all that. And I get that they can be violent. I've personally experienced that. but generally they are violent because they have no choice. It's a fight or flight situation. So those of you that have watched the video from the beginning, I'm coming down this road this morning, I see this, group of, 19 plus hogs, and I get out of my truck a minute later. Well, that's crazy. It's dark, Here's the deal. It would be highly unlikely. Hogs generally want nothing to do with us but to get away from us. If you hem one up in a corner, like inside a trap, it's on like Donkey Kong, okay? Guaranteed. I know this. If they're wounded and you come up on them and they feel they don't have much of a choice, they will turn on you and it's on. I've experienced that. But this junk right here, no. They really don't want nothing to do with you. They're like a coyote. They just want to get the hell away from you. So, TV likes to over dramatize that, I guess, to sell a product or to keep you watching the show or whatever. But, from the get-go for us, we're going to keep it real. And that's just the way we're going to do it. So we're going to shut it down just for a little bit. Go hook up this folder to the mini hog and get to work. Bust this trap down real quick. And keep shooting some footage today for y'all. It is a very nice day here in Central Florida. Sun's coming up. Hopefully you're enjoying. Yeah, it's about trapping hogs, but just enjoy the beauty. Sit back on your sofa or you're in your cubicle or wherever and just take it in. Take in the birds. Take it all in. Feel it inside your soul and your heart and energize you. Statistically, or the experts say that 80% of our thoughts are negative, and we as a society need to stop that crap. This is positive, right? This is all positive, good junk, and we need more of that. So, kind of my drive for wanting to do all this. So, that being said, it's a wonderful day in the hog trapping world. I got my slip-on shoes, fixing to put the boots in the back, and we're going to spin this Tacoma around and head that direction. Hang on, because we'll be back with you. Alright, we're back here at camp. Kind of getting things situated. Got the four-wheeler hooked up to the mini hog trailer. Just started going over some of the pictures that have been coming in, so it's pretty cool. So we bumped them, that group of 19, 20. Let's see, it was about 550, something like that. And, I told you that like off to the side was the bait site. So they went straight to the bait site. So I'm going to try to show you the pictures that are coming in on the Jaeger Pro app. Straight to the bait site. So told you they're going to stay hanging there close. So again, cameras, running these cameras, bait sites. I mean, proactive, staying on it. So let me flip this camera around and show you that. Let's see what we get. So you can see there. That's at 622, there was one. 624 more, there they are. 626, that's that same group. Look at them all back in there. So, fixing to bust down a yogurt here real quick. Can't eat too heavy today. I'll pass out, I'll lay down in a drainage ditch and go to sleep. But anyway, we're going to bust down a yogurt here real quick and head up there, get rid of that hog, and tear this trap down real quick. So anyway, there you go, man. National Geographic in Central Florida. There's a hawk. So, sorry, I got to throw it out there to Ag Pro, man. That's the beast right there. Helps us get a lot of stuff done down here. All right. Let's get to it. Alrighty, we're back up here at the trap. As you can tell, she's up. Beautiful day. Ducks are still over there doing their thing. Spin this camera around so you kind of get a look at this hog damage. I mean, hogs ain't got nothing better to do. That's why they're so good at what they do. There's just a lot of rooting. Not a bunch of hogs. We know that's probably just one hog, but that's what they do. So we'll walk over here to the trap. Since we, going to pull the trap, there was no point in lifting the trap up. I just went ahead and took the impact and took out 6 bolts and broke one panel loose. Decent sized cutters. He's got a mouthful. right there. Decent sized hog for what we see in Central Florida. We don't really see that big of hogs like we do up in Georgia. His belly's big, and I guess if you weren't paying attention in biology class, you might not understand why his belly's big, and I'm not going to explain that. But so we think we made the right choice here. Go ahead and pull this trap while the sun's starting to come up. Give us the opportunity to get out of the sun a little bit. But anyway, so we're gonna get him out of here, pull these panels, load them, break this trap down, and head back to camp, take a shower, take a nap, and then by that time over there at the bait site, those hogs should be cleared out. It'll be getting too hot for them, and we'll throw this thing up, bait it up, and then hopefully sometime this afternoon we'll be headed back to God's country, which if you don't know where that's at, that's South Georgia. And there is a difference between the different places in Georgia. So a lot of people say North Georgia and South Georgia, and I think there's something in the middle called Atlanta, but I'm not sure. So it took us about an hour and 20 minutes to load it, which is not bad. I'm moving kind of slow. It's amazing sleep deprivation and your cognitive functioning, problem solving. I mean, I do pretty good. It's just disassembling a hog trap and putting it on a trailer, but I clearly wouldn't want to be disarming a bomb or something where like it was important, green wire, red wire. But I'm pretty sure the ducks a couple of times came over and gave me a hand, picked up a couple washers and nuts I dropped. Ducks are clearly on board with this program. So we've got her loaded. No shortage of straps. Let me spin this around here. Still getting used to the camera, guys. Work with me. But my dad had a 1982, I believe it was a 1982 Ford Courier. And when I was 16, I was hauling a motorcycle on the back of it. And I was shy with the tie downs. So that thing came through the back window, and I ended up going to a salvage yard and getting a new glass put in and took it home and never said a word to Dad. He's found some glass behind the seat, and he asked me what happened, and I told him, and man, I thought I was going to catch it, you know what I mean? But I didn't catch nothing. I mean, he was thrilled that I owned it, fixed it, and brought it home. So I've raised the boys, don't be shy with straps. Straps are cheap. So we got her strapped down even though we're just going across the property. Normally, you can break that big piece down, that long piece there, which is where the control box is at. But I don't really have a way to secure the control box where I'm comfortable that it won't get banged up. So we're just gonna ride it like that. We kept it in one piece. So basically what you're looking at is it'll split just like the other ones. It just goes together right there, but I'm keeping it together. That's the way I hauled it over here. So I'm not sure if that's a rudder, a sail, I don't know what it is. But anyway, looks pretty cool. So we're gonna head back to camp, park it, and jump in the shower and try to get 2 or 3 hours sleep. And this was the right choice. Sun's coming up pretty good now. And get a nap. By then those hogs at that bait site, they'll be gone. They'll be doing something else. And then we can go in there and do our job. So I can say it, garbage to growth, let the tick go. It's a beautiful day here in Central Florida. Beautiful day. And so we're gonna recharge the battery on the camera because it's telling me it's got like 33% left. And God knows what my smart, stupid watch is telling me. But anyway, we're having a good time. See you in a little bit. Well, it's still a absolutely beautiful day here in Central Florida. Had to change things up a little bit. So we had the trailer hooked up to the four-wheeler. Started to ease out of this nice soft soil. Started to spin, flipped it to four-wheel drive. Kept spinning, but I could back up. So I backed up, tried to get a run at it, back up, get a run at it, back up, get a run at it. Thought about putting some corn on the front of the four-wheeler for a little bit more weight. Really nothing to winch to. There's just some little bitty trees here. So I disconnected the trailer, but before I disconnected the trailer, a couple ducks came over here and said, "Hey Chief, you're fixing to keep backing that trailer straight up into our little water hole here." So I disconnected the trailer and went back to camp, and I got the fire truck. It's what we call the fire truck. So here we go. There you go. So we're pretty far down in there. It could get ugly. Worst case scenario, can't get out of that, we'll get the tractor or Tacoma, or hell, we'll get something. But I'm just happy to be alive. That's how you have to look at stuff like that. I'm tired, wore out, looking forward to my nap. I'm still here kicking and breathing. So we're gonna lock this Honda in 4-wheel drive, low. It's got a lot of backbone to it. And anyway, this is real life. It's never perfect, but yeah, it just got soft on us down here. So let's see what she'll do. Well, she didn't skip a beat. I put it in 4-wheel drive, low, differential lock. I mean, it was a joke. So, God bless whatever the hell this thing is. It's a fire truck, it's a Honda. I know that much. Yeah, it's got it right here on the steering wheel. But I'd still rather have my Gator. Anyway, so we're out. So, about 9:45. We're gonna go ahead and take this puppy on over to the bait site and dump it off. I promise you, them hogs have done moved on since we saw them this morning. So we're gonna switch this thing out of differential lock, 2-wheel drive. There it goes. All right, here we go. It's a wonderful day in the hog trapping world, a wonderful day in the hog trapping world. Won't you hogs be mine? Won't you hogs be mine? We're coming your way with a big trap. It's called the Chief Trap for a reason, you know. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Hoorah! So I wanted to show you real quick what these hogs do. You get all these live oaks up here, and they'll get down here. See that? And one hog will find the remains of an acorn from 1962. And then they'll just destroy this whole road. That's how it works. I know that sounds crazy, but really that's what they do. That one of them will smell it and then they stay, because this is right where they were at this morning when we rolled up on them a little bit before 6, and that's what they were doing. So that's what's aggravating about them. And that's why it's important when you're spinning corn in your trap. You know, you want to make sure all that corn goes in the trap. It's got to go in the trap. You get one piece outside that trap, that's the crap that happens. And then they all stand around with attention deficit disorder, digging and rooting and looking for one tiny little acorn from 1962. So anyway, we headed over to the bait site. So we're here at the bait site. Walk you over here to it. You can see what we got going on over there. Just a big pole, 3-leg on-time feeder, varmint guard. So what'll happen is all that'll get removed. Then we'll put all the trap stuff in there. Switch the pole, the big pole out and everything, just because it's got an extended pole on there for that live video camera. But for some of you may wonder, you know, why the owner has a little fire truck. When you do prescribed burning, controlled burning, it's not a bad idea, you know, to have some type of apparatus that you can suppress fires with. So you're going to cut fire breaks, you know, there's permits, there's training, all the above. But it's not a bad idea to have your own equipment so you can put a fire out if you need to until somebody gets there, like a fire department. But this is kind of a rural location. It might be a little bit, so it's just not a bad idea, but not everybody does that. So anyway, the tank's empty right now, so that helps a lot with the weight. But all right, so we headed back to camp. That's enough for today, or enough for right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a shower and get a little snooze in. We'll get back to you.